Welcome back, guys. Tonight I've got a review of the ALL-CLAD D5. I've had it for a few months. I did get it off of Amazon, and to be quite honest, the journey back to stainless steel has been a pleasant one. So with that said, let's get started. Alright guys, here's the skillet. As you can see, it has had one use of a fish spatula. I was moderately disappointed because I spent $150 on it, but it's a skillet, so I got past it. Don't use metal. Don't use metal. Just use anything else with metal. I use wood a lot. It is 3mm thick. I measured it. It has ALL-CLAD's very controversial handle. Complaints is that it digs into the palm, as you can see. So they redesigned it and put this nub here. I would never hold this over a burner like this, because you're going to get burned doing that. And it still digs in. So that's kind of a few things I want to mention there. As for the review itself, I am going to be doing a water test, boiling to see how evenly it heats. I'm going to be doing an egg test, which I have not done an egg yet. Because in the past, when I gave stainless steel a try, it did not end well. But I've learned a lot coming back to it the third time. Preheating is everything. We're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be frying some fish. And yeah, so I guess with that said, we'll do the water test first and see how evenly it heats. We'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, so for this first test, for the water test, I turned this on probably not even a minute ago. You can see it is starting to boil right there first. I am cooking it on a normal heat you would normally just cook with. The bubbles are pretty evenly dispersed. I know with induction it's going to be right there. But I just want to kind of show you where we're at so far. And I have done this test a couple of times. And normally it will boil right first. It'll boil first right where that fire is. But as you can see, it's boiling a lot faster than I thought it would. It is kind of doing the same behavior because you see it's right through there. But overall, to me, that's pretty good. I have seen some pans that are just like, it's terrible. Like I have a Visions glass skillet. Yeah, they don't heat evenly at all. So I thought this is honestly a pretty decent result. I'll let you be the judge of that one. But with that said, let's go on to the next test. Alright guys, so sorry about the counter being a mess. I'm in the middle of doing a bunch of stuff. What I'm cooking for the fish is some rainbow trout. And not sure what that is. Got it from a local supermarket. And it's got the skin on it, of course. You guys can see there. I'm drying it out. I'm gonna get this heated up and I'll be back when I get the oil in and I'll do the fish. Oh, and also when you add fish in stainless steel, I always recommend that you cook it skin side down. And when you put it in there, it will instantly try to shrivel up. I don't see it does much good, but instead of getting a spatula, kind of hold it down for like 10 seconds. That way it keeps it from shriveling it up and cooking uneven. So with that said, I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, so I've got the oil in there. I do have it where it's just not really smoking, but just almost there. Got it heated basically. Oh no. There we go. Put that on there, and we'll get that covered and get back in 2 minutes. Alright guys, we are ready for the flip. Slide it very carefully so you don't destroy it. And then for the flip, just like that. Ideally, naturally, whenever you cook with stainless steel, it will naturally release if you let it cook long enough. But with fish, they say you want to cook about 90% of the way. Of course, that probably doesn't matter. It does say ideally 90%. a dip before you flip it, and you cook the skin side down because the skin acts out kind of like an extra heat. Basically slows down the transfer of heat, cooking it more even. So you want to get most of the cooking done on that fish, on the skin side, and then basically finish it off on the other side. So with that said, that is the fish test. It passed, of course. And we're back and we do the next test. Alright guys, so while I'm getting this pan preheated for the egg test, I do just want to make a quick disclaimer. As I've already mentioned previously in the video, I'm not going to guarantee this egg test is going to work. And it's going to be on me, of course, if it fails. So if it fails, go ahead and do me a favor and smash that dislike button. But either way, it should be entertaining. So if it works, great. If not, well, can't say we didn't expect it. So with that said, I'm going to be using oil and butter to give the best chance possible. And then the egg is almost to room temperature. So it's definitely not cold, because again, with stainless steel, you don't want cold. But yeah, with that said, we'll be back in a second when it's preheated and see how it goes. All right, it is preheated. Put the oil in there. That's swished around. All right, add the butter. I've actually never used butter and oil before, but supposedly a lot of people do it to create extra slickness. So with that said, let's go and get the egg in. We'll see how it goes. Let's get all the water evaporated first. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so I'm not going for a perfect egg here. I've let it sit here and cook for a minute. Let's see if it sticks. It's trying to, right in the middle where it's going to be cooled off. A little bit sticking, but that is coming off, and deglazing would take that off instantly. Everywhere I move it's trying to stick, so I'll cook this a little bit longer, even though I don't know how burnt it is on the bottom, but this will never be an egg pan because I have a carpet steel for that. So this is just a test. It won't be a normal thing. All right, let's go and get this off the skillet. All right, so that is how it turned out. I don't know if a hotter pan would have helped out with that, but it worked. Deglazing will most likely take all this off. Should be very easily, but I would give that, I'd give it a pass. That's more technique and everything, but the pan, to be honest, performed great. With that said, again, I've had this thing for a couple months now. Searing, I've had no issues with it. Cleanup's been easy. Stainless steel is a pretty universal thing with the pans. It just comes down to the quality of them, how quick they heat up, how well they hold heat, thinner versus thicker. More of the handle is the biggest thing that I've noticed. But yeah, with that said, that is going to be my review of the ALL-CLAD D5. If you have questions for it, down in the comments. If you want to review or try, put in the comments. With that said, thank you guys for watching. Have a great night.